Forgot to switch my draft overlay. Alright guys, we are back. Hopefully everything's sorted out. I can now freely use the item menu and the gold graph, and what do you know, we had a pause anyway, so you didn't miss a thing, but Winter, we're back, and based on what you talked about, and I think just both of our thoughts on this draft, I think it's fair to say that Chuan has to do a lot of work in this laning stage. If he doesn't, LGD should have a heavy advantage.
Yeah, it's all up to him the early game because all the lanes are favorable to LGD. They have all the superior lanes. The 1 versus 1 matchup are both in favor of LGD, and not to mention the 3 versus 3 matchup as well.
Yeah, and of course, they also have the flexibility to leave Windrunner alone top lane if she wants, and rotate the supports around. Earthshaker could go for an early gank, and Dragon Knight is a hero that you can kill if you get a good fissure block, and Queen of Pain has a couple of levels.
And if you look at how LGD started the game, they sent the Visage at the bottom lane because they were worried that the Enchanters would be starting from the enemy jungles to try and harass both the solo lanes, and so they started the Visage in their safe lane first to make sure if that happens, Visage will be there to take care of the anti-mage.
End of the day, what is LGD actually... Well, what is IG going to do, rather, about this Windrunner offlane? Treant as a support, you can sit there and take a lot of damage, you're durable, but you're not actually killing a Windrunner, so Brack should be able to get some levels and farm out of this lane, and it is one of the big weaknesses of the Treant. Fantastic at making your other lane stronger, not really so good at making your own lane.
He should be starting in the jungle like what Goldblock does at the start. He does from the small camp.
He's just kind of hanging around here, trying to walk, lumbering in and looking for auto attacks.
Can't do anything in the lane.
But really, what can he do? I guess there's just not a whole lot.
Yeah, and YYF at the bottom was doing the recently discovered by Mitras, the cogs. So he forces the creeps to go inside the choke point at the bottom lane.
Unfortunately, if you do draw on the map, Winter, just know that I can't see it. But 430 actually drops very low middle lane.
I'm not drawing on the map.
Okay, yeah, but it's right around here, I believe. Actually, sorry, I think it's up there. But either way, we'll see. Just a lot of harassment from Chuan. G constantly eating the chain lightning to the face, and now forced to pop yet another tango, getting closer and closer to his bottle. The one thing that is going well for IG is they're giving Dragon Knight an okay start. At least he's able to withstand the punishment coming his way from G, but he's not farming particularly well.
Leaving armor plus the creeps from Enchantress, no problem.
Yeah, decent start for him, and it's something they'll need. Chuan actually getting a lot of levels in the jungle himself.
They focus on helping both the solo lanes a lot. They pulled the clockwork regeneration items as well.
And we'll see YYF trying to contest this pull. Visage with a double damager, and this could be first blood. YYF, oh no, he is so royally screwed. One more auto attack, jams it in. Easy soul assumption for the kill, and Gatorator even gets an item. Well, that was kind of easy.
Yeah, I think it was a very good decision by them to leave the Visage at bottom to make sure that the AM is safe and they are able to pick up the clockwork, because the top lane, Earthshaker plus Windrunner, they will never have any problems in the lane.
And we'll see.
There's no way the Treant can help the Gyro kill anyone.
Yeah, especially not when Earthshaker's there as well. We'll see Chuan go for his own first movement on the game. He's smoked up. He's got a Dark Troll Warlord. This could be an opportunity to kill off G, but they'll need to chain the stuns perfectly.
This was the creeps you were talking about. Dark Troll.
Oh, but one of them expires. He waits too long, and now the moment has passed, and just a Dragon Tail and a Stomp will not be enough to get this kill. Not when... Well, maybe now that G's sitting at half HP, but the bottle's on the way, and the window of opportunity is going to close. Also, there is a Radiant Sentry Ward here. Not sure if he was actually watching the river as the rotation happened, but either way, Chuan wasting some time and not really making the kills happen.
Yeah, he's under a severe pressure to make something happen. That's why he wanted to try and gank the Queen of Pain, but unfortunately, Queen of Pain isn't the easiest hero to gank, and it's probably wiser for him to start a gank when the DK has level 6, so the DK can stun and initiate for him before he comes in.
Yeah, once you get the range stun, it's a lot easier to find the kills, and of course, so they're not shutting down this off-lane dual lane. Windrunner and Earthshaker are getting levels and experience. Clockwork for YYF, he's not being fully denied, but not getting a whole lot, and it is, of course, Pycat 17-7 free farm safe lane anti-mage, and when you look at this draft for IG, they only have one reliable stun, it's Dragon Tail, so stopping this AM from split pushing and being a nuisance all around the map in the mid-game is going to be hard. If I'm IG, I'd be very concerned.
Well, there's 2 more stuns, but not very reliable.
Yeah, the Clockwork Hook, there is of course the Treant ultimate, but you gotta get close for that.
Bottom lane, they're killing the Clockwork again.
YYF dropping low, Soul Assumption's there, and they'll find the kill, and I had my eye on Chuan, who's rotated up top, has the Ursa as well as the Centaur, but Not really sure where to go, and now he'll maybe head back towards mid. All of this being spotted out, of course, by the Radiant Observer. He'll pop back up the cliff, and once again looks to make a go, but Misery and Brax are both rotating. They know he's here.
My Dota 2 crashed.
That's okay. Oh, actually, that's kind of a problem, because the replay's going to restart. Try and load it back in, and once you're back in the replay, I'll tell you where I am, and we'll try and synchronize up as best we can.
We have good teamwork, don't worry.
Yeah, we had good teamwork starting it, and then Dota crashed, is not cooperating, and mid lane G has the ultimate, just a little harassment onto 430, but of course with living armor in the field, just very hard to actually make a go. In the meantime, Pycat, he's already picked up treads and will blink right in onto YYF, chopping away at him, slicing and dicing. Look at the mana just melt. Hasn't even taken a single point in spell shield. I like this build a lot from Pycat. Normally, you'd expect to see something like the Bernie build in this game, but when you're up against a Clockwork solo offlane, minimal opportunity to get ganked because Dragon Knight solo mid and you know the Enchantress is in her own jungle. Better off just going aggressive. Take some extra points in Blink as well as Mana Break and remove his mana. Cogs won't be there. Meanwhile, the ult mid lane, there's a fissure as well. G looking for the kill, but Blink has already been used. Is there living armor available? Looks like it was cooling down. No, it gets popped now. Stunning G under the tower, but no follow-up. A Blink back. And he will be forced to run away in the end.
What minute you're at now?
I am at 5:54 on the in-game timer. So you probably want to go for like 6 minutes and 10 seconds. 6 minutes and 20 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, I'm there. 6:17.
6:17. Alright, pause there, and I'll tell you when I get there. I'll start counting down.
Okay.
Okay, I'm at 6:10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
Okay.
20, 21.
I'm there.
Okay, great. We should be mostly synced up. If we're slightly off, no big deal, but... Well, 1437, boots of the teleport scroll. He's already level 4.5, getting close to level 5, and you gotta say, nothing's better than getting an early level 6 on a support like Visage. Just makes such a big difference.
Yeah, the Familiars is one of the strongest ultimates in the game at the moment for a support hero.
Speaking of familiars, who needs them? When you have Soul Assumption, 430, barely able to live, bottling up through all the nukes and the auto attacks. Well, didn't think he'd survive, but he does.
The belt of giant strength saved him.
Does he really have one? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Living armor wasn't even used there. It feels like it's been a little bit late in some of these engagements.
Yeah, and you were talking about the skill build of Pycat. I totally agree that spell shield is not really very good in this game because if you look at the heroes, the people who are dealing the damage are mostly physical, and Enchantress is pure damage. Rocket flares and the call down and the breathe fire. These are the three main spell damage, which not really strong.
And Pycat, he'll pick up the Rain of Health now, so continues to find farm and levels in the bottom lane. We'll see a Sentry Ward pickup from Visage. I think they're fixing that, so you don't get these constant ward pickup notifications. But either way, teleport to the bottom lane by our Visage, who is now just hit level 5, getting closer and closer to level 6. And well, Winter, if you're IG right now, you're only trailing by 1,000 gold, 500 experience. It doesn't really look bad on paper, but I just don't know what their plan is for dealing with Pycat.
Bottom lane, they're gonna kill YYF again.
Mana Void's there again. They've got a blink available. Is there going to be a body block from Pycat? Yes, there is. Soul Assumption by 1437. And the best part of that, of course, is Shackle, not going to connect on Zhou. We'll rotate to the top lane. There will be a power shot here just to clear off the creep wave. Fissure as well, not blocking in Zhou, but now a teleport in from G, and Zhou will be driven back for the time being. He's got living armor, so under cover of that, should be able to try and run away. But even Pycat's teleported in. They really want to defend this tower. They'll leave the Visage there to get some farm and levels bottom lane, but maybe a slight overcommitment there to defending that top tower by LGD.int.
They really don't like anyone touching their towers.
I've noticed it's something that LGD.int has gotten really good at. They just they don't trade. They just take your towers and defend theirs. Or at least they try to.
Yeah, they just take goal advantage from breaking your towers and they defend their own towers. There comes the normal way of getting your goal advantage. You take what others have and you protect your own.
It's like Robin Hood, except you steal from everyone and you keep it all for yourself. You don't give it to the poor. IG, they'll smoke up. They'll head towards the top lane, and Chuan really looking to actually connect to one of these ganks. Good news is he's got 430 in tow, and 430 is, of course, level 8, but Misery might be able to spot this out. Great positioning from him. It seems like he knows there's a smoke gank coming so far back, and to the left as well. Going to be very hard for IG to find the kill, and in fact, they can't. Really nice positioning from LGD. They knew that one was coming the whole way.
Yeah, there was
And with
very,
no
very good
wards as well. Just this one.
Yeah, very good position. They were just aware that the clockwork was rotated to middle lane, and it probably means the DK is off to something fishy.
Yeah, what else would DK be doing? He can't really jungle that officially. There will be a call down. Barely gonna clip too, but it does in fact clip him in the end. Now the chase is on, but there's just no actual initiating stun. It's only Dragon Tail.
Treant Protector, no stuns.
Yeah, well, this is where the hero starts to struggle a bit, and it's why you mentioned you'd love to have tower divers, but what tower divers does IG really have? Maybe a Clockwork, but only if he's there, and, well, he's busy defending mid.
Apparently, only Goldblood knows how to abuse the Treant.
It's true. Loda, in his post-game interview at DreamHack, pretty much said, this hero is broken, but only in the hands of DD Dota. We're seeing a lot of the Western teams prioritize him, but it doesn't feel like anybody else knows just how to use him the way that DD does.
Maybe you need someone aggressive on your team.
430 middle lane, there's going to be a blink, a scream, and of course a shadow strike, but with living armor there, the good news is 430 is going to live. Bad news is I don't think living is really good enough for IG. I feel like they have to do something to slow down Pycat. Up to 1100 gold. Again, where's the lockdown to deal with this guy mid-game? And if not, how are you going to outfarm him?
They can't kill the anti-mage, and they can't farm faster than the anti-mage.
You know, in theory, you look at their lineup, they have Dragonite, they have Gyrocopter, probably two of the best carries in the game for farming stacks and farming ancients, but taking a quick look at the jungle now, I'm not seeing any stacks there. In fact, not a single stack, and ancients haven't been stacked either, so yes, they're good at farming stacks.
Took all the neutrals. No stacks for you, Cairo.
Well, this is a case where maybe Chuan just has to do the heavy lifting, because he's not setting up his carries to do it, and that feels like a bit of a concern.
Yeah, and the buff on Enchantress acceptor this version. Very good.
We'll see LGD. This is going to be their first smoke of the game. They're looking for 430. Can they find him? Courier flying on through. It's got a smoke of deceit and a bracer. 430 just going to be going.
When you talk about LGD, in 11 minutes in, only one smoke, really?
I like this a lot because their lineup doesn't need to be aggressive, Winter. I mean, even now I don't know that they need to smoke, but certainly earlier. They had the better lanes. They were winning those lanes.
We used
Why
to
make
see
adjustments?
LGD International smoking a lot at the early game to get ganks off, but this game they are totally using the lane ownage style. Just stay put in the lane and destroy your heroes.
Oh, what a deny. Great play from 1437. Gets the tower deny, and for IG, they've got level 6 on the Treant Protector, and it looks like that is cue for them to start 5-manning around the map. They take the tier 1 mid, albeit it was denied, and they'll rotate bottom and maybe look at a tier 1 here as well. Trying to limit that space for Pycat to farm, but Pycat, he's a squirmy little one. He'll try to find a way. He'll rotate through his own jungle. He'll head towards mid.
Yeah, when you talk about their heroes, they can't kill the anti-mage, but they have a very good 5-man lineup. With the Treant Protector's ultimate plus the cooldown.
Oh, mid lane, there's a fissure. Zhou gets blocked in a bit. Now a soul assumption, and then an ultimate to the face.
Living armor?
Living armor was, not used.
1 second. He used the living armor on the tower.
Oh, did he? He was also I think he was teleporting right as that happened, so maybe a misclick, but I don't know if it would have made the difference at that point anyway, because it was so late. Either way, LGD, they'll look to push that middle lane in, as well as top lane simultaneously. They're going to try and split push this, and for IG, they'll go for the trade. They'll take the tier 1 bottom. Now they start teleporting back in to defend Faith, as well as YYF are here, but can they defend it? Looks like they can for the time being, and LGD had given up 2 towers. Last one was taken by the Dragonite, and so far, not really finding big trades.
Yeah, the problem with Visage is he's not too mobile. He needs his familiars to join the fight. Like, let's say you force the Visage to move to bottom lane to defend. It's an example, and you try to push the other lane, another lane far away. It wouldn't be in time for the Visage to reach the fight. So I think it's a good move by IG to force them to defend multiple lanes and defend their own lanes as well. So the Visage can't really be everywhere at once.
Well,
without the familiars, he doesn't deal that much of damage.
You say that, but 2 familiars top, they're going to catch out 430. Stun number 1. Actually, I think stunned them both at once and didn't really find enough lockdown. Now the Fissure's there, but a big cooldown from Zhou doing a lot of damage. And a Soul Assumption over the top. G from the backside throws out the Queen of Pain ult. How did he get there, and why was there no backup? IG, they'll rotate YYF in. Chuan's going to strut in to the middle of 5, pops the heal, but way late. He'll get blown up, and now this is where Visage really is king. He'll have another Soul Assumption soon. It cools down. Arcane Boots are going to be there, even through the living armor. Secondary fissure block. YYF on the run. There's your Soul Assumption. Yet another kill. This hero really too good in these prolonged engagements, and more items being handed out. But LGD 7-0. now leading by close to 1,500 gold, 5k experience, and they're doing it without a single tower to their name. Without having the tower advantage, they are up gold, and they're about to be up a whole lot more. Pycat working on the tier 1 bottom. He'll have it soon. IG are in big trouble, Winter. Big, big trouble. And they're not done yet. They're going to blink on Joe. G getting a little out of control here. There is going to be living armor, but I don't know how much it'll matter. Rocket Barrage futilely thrown out. And now YYF, another one into the meat grinder. Perhaps actually he's going to find Misery. Hooks in, catches him out. While this is happening, Pycat finds the tier 1 bottom, but will go down. Eats a living armor to the face. And or no, sorry, that wasn't Pycat. That was Misery who went down. But Pycat actually TP's home, and he's got a 15-minute Battle Fury. So in the end, he survives, and this is not good, Winter. They can't kill him, and now he's got a very fast Battle Fury.
He has power traits as well. He's very fat.
And he's even leveled up Blink a lot early. He's already got 3 points in it. He's going to be turbo farming all over the map.
Yeah, all the advantage they have now is from the early lane dominance, all the matchup. They have the better matchup in all the lanes. That's why they have such a huge goal lead before taking any of IG's towers.
So what do you do right now if you're IG? I mean, what is your game plan as you head towards the mid game?
They need multiple hex.
Well, they don't really have any natural hex carriers aside from this Enchantress, but
Chuan will do it.
This is your 4th position Enchantress, who's currently sitting pretty on 2 Gauntlets of Strength, Arcane Boots, and a Smoke. And Enchantress is not really a great farmer. You can use Wildkin on stack creeps, that's okay, but not reliable. And
you need to farm the enemy heroes with your ultimate.
Good luck doing that, the way LGD.int are playing. Very strong defensive lineup, and they're just roaming as a unit on one side of the map, while Pycat, they'll morph this into a classic 4 Protect 1. He'll hide bottom. He sees quite a few heroes off the map. He'll play it safe, but soon he'll start hitting creep. So once he does that, the gold, it's only going to go one way. Already now leading by 1,000 net worth over the Gyrocopter. And this is why it's just very dangerous to trade farm against an anti-mage, and unless you either have tools to gank him or a clearly superior late game. But for IG, their late game is decent. I would not say it's clearly superior.
I think the only one who can keep up with the anti-mage if you trade farm like this is the Alchemist. No one else farms as fast as anti-mage.
Yeah, and then that's where you really have to find the trades. Like, you can kill all their supports, and then maybe it's okay, but so far they just can't do that. IG is going to go for a Roshan, and, well, yeah. they have the Treant ultimate up. They do have the Dragon form here. It looks like LGD, if they know about this, are not going to contest it.
It's okay for LGD to give up the Roshan. They can just take map control and farm everywhere.
I would like to see Pycat actually pressuring this bottom lane. With 5 heroes off the map, should be very suspicious, but he is farming the jungle. Maybe a little worried about a smoke gank. And IG, they'll claim a Rosh, which, like you said, I think it's okay for LGD to give this away, but I also think it's pretty good for IG to take it.
Yeah, IG can't really do any more pushes because of how fast LGD can split push with the Queen of Pain and the Anti-Mage. Not to mention, Windrunner, Power Shot plus Fissure is very good defensive spells if IG decides to push one lane.
And while that's happening, it's not just the Anti-Mage who's farming. It's also G, who's getting closer and closer to an Orchid. This is a big game to have an Orchid.
There's no way IG can outpush LGD. They have too many AoE spells to clear out creep waves faster than IG.
And they have the Anti-Mage with the Battle Fury. The 3 core is just so good at pushing the lanes out, and even a hero like Earthshaker isn't half bad himself in a pinch, so what do IG do from here? They've got the BKB on Joe right now. They would love to take a big 5v5 clash, and I actually think with this BKB, they'd probably come out ahead if they execute correctly, but the problem is, I don't think LGD will ever give them a 5v5, unless they want to.
LGD can always just ring around the map, dodging them, speed push.
They'll rotate Pycat mid now.
They don't have to take the fight because IG has the Aegis. They don't have to risk anything.
If they want to, they do have this mech on Brack, so they have that one big advantage going their way.
If they can get a good position, probably they'll take a fight. But I don't think they'll take any big risks because they have the advantage if the game goes longer with the speed pushes. They'll be able to farm faster.
I'm really liking this play from Pycat. Patient play from him. He waits until he sees a few heroes revealed top. Now he's going to apply a little pressure towards mid, but I imagine he'll be backing off in just a second here. He's got a blink available.
The only way he will die is Dragon Tail plus Overgrowth. So when he sees the Treant and DK not on the map, he'll just hide from the lanes.
And this is where you really want to Shadow Blade DK, because otherwise, how do you get close enough? Even with the ranged stun, unless you're coming around a corner or have an Invis rune, it's actually pretty hard to get on top of the anti-mage.
They know something is going on, and they just backed up on top.
And I also want to point out Sentry Wards in the lane. They are just playing very, very conservatively. not giving any openings to IG.
Yeah. Once they know the Trian and DK is top, Anti-Mage proceeds to push middle. Just very good play, moving IG around the map.
We'll see Pycat blink towards bottom. He's got 2.4k right now. There's a double damager in here. He doesn't see it yet, though. He'll go continue to farm the neutrals. So I imagine the Manta style coming very soon for him.
Farming is more important than the Rune LD now for him.
Even if a double damager helps you farm faster, though, Winter. No excuses here. It's more efficient.
You need a few more seconds to go scout the Rune.
That's true. He doesn't know it's there, so you won't go for it in the end. And for IG, they're going mass BKBs. This actually reminds me a lot of Rattlesnake. We're going to see BKB on Dragon Knight, most likely Clockwork going for one as well. I suppose it could be Heaven's Halberd, but no, it is in fact BKB.
Yeah, the Chinese teams like to go for BKB first item on Clockwork.
Now, the big downside, if you go too many BKBs, is you have to win the game in, like, the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, these items don't really help you farm faster, and the charges go down the more you use them. It gets to a point where they're not very useful.
4 seconds BKB. Oh, that sucks.
It's very painful. IG, they're going to rotate onto Pycat. Maybe he's overstayed his welcome here. He's got an ultimate orb. Can he get away, though? Rocket's going to splash in. He'll have to blink north. He's still waiting in the trees. Backup is on the way. Pycat, that's a little bit manly. Uh-oh, caught out. There's a double damager in a 430. Pycat blinks north. The hook by YYF narrowly going to miss. Even if he hit that one, probably would have been leading his team into a death trap, so for the best that he did, perhaps. Brax now with the shackle, catches Faith, and then there's the fissure follow-up as well. G is there. Echo Slam from Misery comes in. Beautiful initiation. And we've been talking a lot about how IG lacks long-range initiation. That is something LGD.int has in spades. Grave Chill long-range, Soul Assumption long-range for the damage, and of course Shackle Shot, as well as the fissure.
It's not really exactly that long. It's,
yeah, you're right.
400 only.
Okay, scratch that. But the rest, pretty freaking long-range.
Yeah, the rest are all freaking long-range.
I stand corrected. But IG...
No, IG has a long-range Black Cannon, 1000 range.
They do have the hook, but it's single target in most cases, and just haven't found the openings to use it right now. And it feels like for IG, they're going to build 3 BKBs, even when they get them out, and let's say they get the mech on Chuan, how are they going to find a team fight? LGD.int should just build a split
LGD
push.
is just playing the game very well. Up to what they have to do. Split push, just avoid fights as much as possible, because IG has the stronger 5 versus 5 lineup, and they just kite IG all over the map and use their hero advantage, which allows them to clear creeps faster, farm faster, and just avoid fights whenever they can.
And Pycat's just going to start backstabbing the creep, so additional pressure on the lane. And for IG, if they now try to defend this top tower, they're jumping into an Orchid. Yeah. They'll have to come as 5.
They have a 4k gold advantage when they are down in towers.
This is the one thing that Triad does well. He defends your towers, he makes them harder to kill, but...
Yeah.
They send 5 heroes top, and this is such an obvious gank. It's the most obvious thing in the world.
Visage Familiars is split pushing bottom.
Yeah, this is good Visage play. We have seen some Visage players maybe not being the most efficient with their familiars, but 1437 doing a nice job here of just keeping the lanes pushed out, and it's really a lineup that has 4 heroes that can split push. The Visage familiars, and then the Windrunner, Queen of Pain, and Anti-Mage, all of them good, and mowing down creep waves and spreading the map.
You can actually consider the familiars a hero. They deal insane amount of damage.
It's 6v4, Winter. It's imba.
It's not fair.
It's really not.
You have to tell that to Ice Rock.
Well, for right now, LGD.int, they'll just continue to farm and turtle it out, and for IG, going triple BKB, no, sorry, they'll actually go Sanj or YYF, just something now instead of a little bit more later, and Joe, well, he's driven back.
Heaven's Halberd is good if the AM doesn't build that BKB.
We'll see if Pycat actually goes for one, and at the same time, you can Heaven's Halberd the Anti-Mage, but there's a lot of other damage. There's still the Visage to worry about, the Queen of Pain as well, who actually does pretty good auto-attack damage with an Orchid, and not everyone's going to have a BKB. End of the day, here's like Treant, tanky, yes, but won't be able to build one. Chuan in particular is going to feel like food this game, and even your Clockwork goes for the Heaven's Halberd, but no magic immunity for him, so that's where the nukes may make up for the disarm on the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, but the thing is, they don't even have to fight. The Anti-Mage can just opt not to join the fight, so what is your Heaven Halberd going to do?
Top lane, huge engagement breaks out. YYF on the run. Power shot is there, but it's not enough damage yet. G giving chase, the fissure as well, but will it actually force this fight? IG, they're just going to back off. They've actually brought him...
That fissure was so good. Stop everything.
They brought in Pycat as well. He's got the Manta style now. They'll be looking to take this tower, and despite the living armor being here. It's going to be hard to engage the Shackle. Latches onto Zhou. He does have a BKB. Do they want to jump him? Fissure as well. Not just yet. LGD.int biding their time. Finessing and caressing their way, and they're looking for the opening. But Pycat will eat a stun to the face, dropping pretty low. He's got a Manta Style, will not pop it yet. 430 actually ate an Orchid. He's not able to stun right now. Actually, some weird graphical bugs coming out on top of your ult from the Gyrocopter. Chain stun, they do bring Pycat down. YYF, however, he'll be with the return kill. Is there going to be a buyback from Pycat? Not available. Now the BKB Rampage commences. Zhou just trying to get in range for a secondary kill. They'll chase 1437 with the rocket, but it'll be a little bit far to dive in the end.
That was the only way I said the AM would die. Dragon Tail and plus Overgrowth. That's what I did.
It felt like he overstayed his welcome there a bit.
Yeah, there was no means for them to force the fight. But I guess they were confident that they could take a fight and take down the tower. That would put them in such a huge advantage.
Well, I think the new patch has done something horrible to my beloved Dota 2 Winter. There was all sorts of...
I had the glitch as well, I saw it.
All sorts of weird red X's flying out. And despite having a decent fight, they kill off the anti-mage, but can they find more? Shackle from Brax, fishing, but not going to connect. Chuan healing up, but Fissure catches two. This could be the opening for LGD. They'll surge in now. Zhou on the run. A lot of heals, a lot of defensive capabilities for IG. In the end, they will retreat. It's nice to kill Pycat, and obviously IG needs a lot more of that, but he's still your lead farmer, still sitting at 203 CS, 26 minutes in, pretty decent farm, and 11k net worth. They haven't really done a whole lot to change the gold graph here.
Yeah, they can't keep up with the anti-mage. That's what I mentioned about LGD can always farm faster than IG because of the heroes they picked compared to IG's heroes.
You know what's funny about the graphical bug, the red X's, is there's some people in the chat are saying they would pay good money for that. So Valve opportunities to earn money through the Steam store.
I see it every time the AM pops his Manta.
Yeah, I believe you're right. It's a bug with the Manta style animation, but only Valve could earn money off of their bugs and make their community happy while doing it. Oh man. Speaking of which, if you haven't already heard, Dota 2 is now pretty much unlocked worldwide outside of China, as far as I know, and perhaps Korea as well. But you can actually just, if you have Steam, you could just install Dota 2 and start playing. There's no beta keys anymore. There was a recent Reddit post to that effect, at any rate, and it's exciting stuff. So tell your friends, tell your family. The tutorial's not fully complete, but still something to look forward to. G trying to force out a BKB charge here with the Orchid, won't be able to do so.
It's a very good decision for 1437 to go for 4 stuff because against the Clockwork, he usually don't see Visage go 4 stuff.
Also, they have a Blink Dagger Misery. 27 minutes in. Is it really that long? It feels like it's much earlier in the game, but, well, they've been playing rather passively.
I think it's okay because both of the supports are giving all the farm to all their 3 cores.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fantastic Blink Dagger timing, to be honest. I just was remarking on...
Usually in the situation like this where you don't really get too many towers, if your support gets a dagger anything faster than 30 minutes is really good.
He's 0-1-7, considering that he's been so involved around the map and hasn't been dying.
All his were really good.
You speak of the Visage. As a support player, I imagine you can just... You must love this hero, because he's like the only support hero in the game that racks up kills. 7-0-2 on the Visage, and this is really nothing new. This is old hat for anyone.
This is the hero where you can always say, I was just merely securing the kill to your teammates.
It's got, what is it, a 4-second cooldown? I had to use it. It's off cooldown. No excuses, Winter. You're KSing, just be honest. It's okay.
I have arcane boots. I'm making good usage of my mana pool.
It really is a dream for a support player, though. We'll see Pycat push in the middle lane. He's got some illusions up. Manta style at that. He'll rotate top now. He wants to join his team. 3.1k. We'll see if he'll go BKB. If he wants to, it's coming soon. Now, of course, if he does, there's still Overgrowth. There's still the Clockwork Hook. But there won't be the cogs anymore. Those will not be...
It's difficult for them to even find an opening because now LGD has 2 4-star. The only good way of them for starting the fight for IG is the hook shot, and LGD has 2 4-star just for that.
So I just realized Impetus actually works on familiars.
Does it?
It looked like it did anyway.
I think you can use the Impetus on it, but it only does the normal right-click damage. It doesn't deal bonus damage to
really?
the familiars.
I just caught the killing blow, but it did make the sound effect. So I was gonna say that's a pretty good way to counter Visage then, but if it doesn't do the damage, never mind that.
I think there's a lot of spells that you see the animation go on the Visage Familiars, but it doesn't actually deal damage to it.
Well, if it did work, it's pure damage, so nothing would be reduced, not even by that.
So one hit, if it works one hit, I think the Familiars are dead.
Yeah, if it does, but it probably doesn't, and my eyes may have just been deceiving me. As for LGD, they've got 4 heroes grouped up top. They're heading out in the jungle, and again, it's just a classic 4 protect 1, but LGD, honestly, not a team that have really run this style. I could maybe count on one hand the number of games where they've done this.
I think this style is more like a orange style where you farm the whole map. 3 cores.
It is, but they're sticking together with the other 4 heroes quite a lot. I mean, we've seen them grouped up top for a good 10 minutes, I would say, this game.
Overall, it's okay because they were farming the enemy jungle. At the same time, they left all of their jungle for the anti-mage to farm up. So they are making use of the whole map.
And while they're doing that, it's not like there's a clock ticking. Sure, in theory, IG could go pretty late. They do have a Dragonite, a Gyrocopter, heroes that scale well into the late game. The real problem is keeping up in terms of farm.
Yeah, they can't keep up with the anti-mage. Anti-mage just beats the gyro.
If the farm is there, it does feel like late game, if you go late enough, Gyrocopter DK is pretty damn strong as a late game combination.
Yeah, and they have the Enchantress to steal the illusion of the AM.
Didn't even think about that, but that's, yeah, another tool in their arsenal, and hey, if it goes 50-60 minutes, maybe Chuan will finally farm that egg.
We've seen a lot of those.
That's like the Vice.
Those illusion wars.
You and I, we've been through it all. It reminds you, if you're a Star Wars fan, of the Clone Wars, I think. The defining battle of
Shadow Demon, Darkseer, Phantom Lancer, then the Rubik steals the disruption. No problem. Illusions everywhere.
Forget the Clone Wars, Winter. We're veterans of the Illusion Wars. You and I, we've been through it all. IG, they'll smoke up, they'll head mid. They want to make something happen with this fresh, shiny Butterfly and Zhou, as well as the Aegis of the Immortal, but it might be hard to do so. Again, the question remains, can they actually find a kill? LGD and...
it's like what you mentioned, it's very obvious because everyone is off the map.
Generally, it seems like these 5 hero smoke ganks at this stage of the game are just such a low percentage play that isn't even worth doing. Yes, they're falling behind.
If you do it, it's when you're really, really desperate.
I almost feel like, as weird as it sounds, IG might be better off just not pressuring, just sitting back and farming.
But they can't outfarm LGD, that's why they feel the sense of pressure to take down towers or take a fight as soon as possible.
Well, they are going to put pressure here, but while this is happening, LGDN is taking 2 towers, the tier 2 top, the tier 2 bottom. IG will knock that tower down, but Pycat has already broken through on the top lane with the familiars at his side. Reaver is the choice. He's got money for Heart of Terras. Fissure clips 3, Shackle on 2. This could be bad if they want to go now, but they're just stalling. There is no sense of urgency. Pycat about to break the base.
They're just stalling for the anti-mage.
Yeah, he's split pushing now. YYF comes in, throws out a lonely set of cogs, but they are not doing a whole lot. 430, however, is working nicely on the racks. The Fissure's going to connect. No Shackle to latch there. They do bring the tower down, but 430 trapped in no man's land. A blink in from G. BKB's there. He'll be forced to TP out, and while this is happening, Pycat takes the tier 3 top. He's going for racks, baby. He's slicing and dicing. He's bringing it low. He eats an overgrowth to the face, but they need a lot more than this to bring Pycat down. Drops out the Mana Void. Will blink away. In the end, in the game of chicken, I would call it fairly even. Of course, IG forced to use a couple of BKBs, but...
It's more dangerous for IG in this situation.
Oh, they're not done yet. They catch YYF even with the living armor. Won't be enough now. Tries to hook the safety off the mark with the hook line in the end, and they will be able to find the kill.
Yeah, I was talking about the situation is more dangerous for IG because if you're fighting against a split pusher like anti-mage and not having your tier 3 towers, that's very, very dangerous for you. He can just run in and hit your racks.
And ultimately, once you start base trading with Anti-Mage, Windrunner, Quidopay, and Visage...
You are never going to win that base trade.
This is like being up against a Prophet and a Tiny plus Wisp combo. Once you lose the first lane of racks, unless they just feed, the game's pretty much over. So let's see if they can defend here. They've got the Aegis. The Aegis still online for Zhou.
They should be able to defend this.
Actually, the Aegis is about to expire, and LGDN.
Yeah, it's in 1 minute.
They may just wait this out and then try to take a fight without letting them farm the next item. Pycat now has a Heart of Terras. Aegis reclaimed in 30 seconds. Thank you, Valve. A blink in. Manta style deployed in a world of X's. Red X's everywhere. Pycat eats a hook. Now going to take a Dragon Tail to the face. The Imp's doing good damage, but is it going to be enough? Shackle, or rather the ultimate for the Earthshaker is there, but Pycat still alive. He'll be 4-step back. He'll blink away. No! A secondary Dragon Tail! A secondary Force Staff! They just can't lock him down in the end, though.
4-star gaming. 4-star gaming.
IG do defend. The rack's dropping very low. Aegis was not used, but it will expire now. And IG, end of the day, that's a lot of AoE to fight your way into.
Look at the familiars.
Oh, just being total pains in the ass. Wow, a 35-minute Shadowblade from 430. They really feel desperate to get the initiation.
I want to ask you something. Do you think if you're desperate, you go for a Blink Dagger on a DK? The Pinoy teams do it.
I know Myth Trust loves their Blink Dagger Dragon Knight.
It's actually a very good, cheap initiating item instead of trying to farm the Shadowblade.
Well, the familiars are not so cheap. These are giving 100 gold. I don't know. I mean, I guess the problem with getting a Blink Dagger is Shadowblade does a similar thing, but scales as a damage item. It gives you some additional move speed in the fights.
The attack speed is very, very good for DK.
Yeah, and the attack speed and the damage. So it's hard to say, Winter. I guess my feeling is if you have to go for a 35-minute Shadowblade, you're probably in trouble.
Blink Dagger is 2.1k, Shadowblade is more expensive than that. That's all I have to say.
Now, I have a question for you. Is this a Divine Rapier game for Zhou? He's on the dire side, he's got a Demon Edge and now a Morbid Mask. How desperate should IG feel? They're trailing by about 9k gold.
They have to just... If the game goes on like this, if you're up against a very smart team that plays anti-mage like speed pushing and just hits your... He basically hits your buildings instead of trying to kill your heroes. And you're gonna be in so much trouble.
And of course, if you get a Divine Rapier, well, even if you kill the heroes, if you can't get to the anti-mage, doesn't matter.
And there goes the saying of what Alvin likes to tell me. You kill the heroes, you don't win the game. You kill the Rex, you kill the throne, you win the game. Buildings are the winning factor.
That's Miracle's excuse. That's his excuse for never coming to the fights.
Yeah.
Even when he's Lina and he's a 5-position support. They might find Pycat here. Rush into respawn in 2 minutes time. They'll start with the Dragon Tail, but do they have the follow-up? It's the Force Staff again for Brax. And now the Shackle to Latch from 430, a cloud of red X's, as well as a Monovoid. They blow him up in a hurry. Now Faith potentially in trouble. Misery's got Blink Echo in just 3 seconds. A jump in. A jump in now. Is there going to be a Blink Echo? He's fishing for the angle. A Blink. A Fissure block. No, he'll start with the Enchant Totem Echo combo. And they're overwhelming IG. Zhou driven back.
Oh, that Fissure just barely missed the gyro. He would have been dead.
Man, Misery wanted to go for the huge combo there, but the problem was, Winter, his team does too much damage, so could have been an amazing Earthshaker play instead.
Yeah, you can
just kind of cleaned up.
How effective both of the 4-stars are in the match. Those 4-stars are winning them the fight.
Yeah, and Brax has been really on point with those as well. Force-staffing teammates away, throwing out shackles. That also allowed them to take that fight. A clutch shackle on Dragon Knight, never got off his BKB. Nice Manta dodge by Pycat. Will manage to avoid that homie missile. And Illusion set to work on Zhou while he works on the Wrath. Force that, or rather hook in from YYF, but this could just be a world of pain for him. There's your Fissure, dropping low. Soul Assumption won't find the kill now. Force away, trying to keep 1437 safe. It may be up to Thabon to bite the bullet. Maybe not. G finding kills while retreating on YYF. And quite a pain kick later.
Shadow Strike tick.
And IG still giving chase. Can they actually get in range? They can't. And now they're done one late of Rex.
This is why I said they need the Blink Dagger. No kidding, man.
The problem is, I also feel like they're somewhat lacking damage. Can they? Yeah. It seems like they cannot kill Anti-Mage without 2 rounds of stuns.
It's the nature of their heroes. Without hacks, they can't really kill the Anti-Mage.
I almost feel like it's Faith who they really want. If they got a Blink Dagger on Faith, then Dragon Knight could 430 could continue to go towards some big damage items.
Yeah, he's not building a Blink Dagger. Goblet builds it all the time. It's very important for Trian.
Of course, there's still always Manta style. So even if you do blink in and drop the Tran, you can just Manta out of the Tran ultimate. You can just Manta out of it.
It depends who is more patient. Do I wait for your Manta or do you wait for my Overgrowth?
Well, we'll see who's gonna wait here. LGD.int, they're wasting no time. They're gonna do a bit of dewarding. Rather late gem pickup.
I'll put my money on the Chinese players when it comes to patience.
Well, LGD.int is becoming Chinese. That's the concern here for IG. They're looking more and more Chinese by the second.
No, technically they're not.
Technically they're not, but philosophically their gameplay feels much more Chinese this game. Very patient, defensive play. Not your classic LGD.int with the dual roam, the early smoke ganks, early aggression. IG, they'll look for the opening here. Rocket to initiate, scout things out, but no commitment just yet. Butterfly now complete on Pycat. Very hard to go into this team.
Yeah, and the Gyro needs a Monkey King bar as soon as possible.
He needs a Divine Rapier as soon as possible. I mean,
I think he needs a Monkey King bar plus a Divine Rapier.
yeah, because I think the MKB is actually more efficient trying to kill the anti-mage, but problem is, this is not really a one-carry lineup.
He just doesn't join the fight. You can't kill him.
And Pycat will just split push. He'll push that top lane, and he kills off the creep wave.
His enemies are the buildings, not your heroes.
And although there's an MKB on Joe, he still is absolutely going to melt in these team fights. If he gets shackled or fissured before he BKBs, he's dead. Even if he doesn't and Pycat blinks on him, Mantas, he'll probably die quickly as well, even through the evasion.
They didn't have any 4-staff, that's why the Trian is, I think, trying to build one. 4-staff is really important. Every team needs to have 4-staffs.
Pycat trolling me, fake blinking left and right and center, but now he'll actually go for it. YYF will rotate towards that side of the map and see what he can get done. Joe's going to sneak into the pit, and IG may be thinking about trying to take a Roche here, but they really need a kill to make it viable.
They are very desperate. If you look at how they are moving on the map, they're really desperate for anything. Even any pick-off, any kill, a Roshan, anything, just anything.
And it's normally LGD.int who are the ones that, I wouldn't say feel desperate, but are really trying to force the issue early and often.
Yeah,
the roles have switched.
Matured a lot as a team.
They've matured a lot, and I think it's also just the draft. You look at this draft, LGD.int just having the better late game lineup, the better split pushing lineup, the better farming lineup.
Yeah.
When I say late game, I mean
they changed their drafter a couple of times already.
Yeah, it's currently G, and it's been at times Misery, at times Pycat. I think 1437 even did it for a little bit, but we'll see if G can keep the streak going here for LGD. They're looking good at game one of this best of three. It is a replay cast, guys, for anyone tuning in saying, hey, I just saw this game. What's going on? But mid lane, they'll initiate on Joe now. A blink, a double damage turn is there. Echo Slam 2. Chuan's gonna melt. The Manta style deployed. Immediate buyback, but it's already hell on earth for IG. YYF next in line. They're all getting butchered in the shadow of their tier 3s, and this winter may be the end for IG in game one. In fact, it very much looks like it. And they'll tap out. GG.
Yeah, it's really difficult for them to play. If both teams play well, this the LGD.int lineup against the IG lineup, LGD.int's lineup is much more easier to execute. IG needs to play really well to win this game.
And unfortunately, those early movements from Chuan was scouted out by observers, sentries, or just good map awareness from LGD. They were smokes used.
I think it's, to be fair to him, it's also difficult for him to gank that early because of the solo heroes are something like a Dragon Knight and a Clockwork. It's not that easy for him to gank.
Yeah, again, not to criticize him, but he fell very far behind. Quite a few ganks didn't work. LGD also...
Yeah, he felt very pressured to make something happen. Because we were talking about he needs to be that X factor for them to win the early game.
And it was a lot of pressure on him, and this is the one big downside to picking a hero like Treant Protector is he doesn't gank. He doesn't zone enemy heroes out of the lane. Windrunner and Earthshaker got levels and farm as a dual lane in the off lane. It's a strong dual lane, it's a classic one, but if you have a really good tri lane, you can shut that down, but with a Treant Protector and an Enchantress, not so easy. And in the end, well, IG looking good here, Winter. They're going to take game one in the best of three, but guys, stay tuned. We'll be coming back with game two right after this. I'm LD, he's Winter. We'll be right back.